What's up, guys? Oh, I just forgot to do something. Hold on. I'm gonna turn this down. I don't want the volume overlapping my voice. But anyway, you're probably wondering, dude, what the hell is this? Why haven't you completed Lament of Innocence? Where's the Dawn of Sorrow? Like, why are you switching Let's Plays? Well, let's just say that now I have a perfect opportunity to finish them. I have this set up, I have everything ready, I have all the games ready, I got a good setup, good camera, we are good to go. But this one I wanted to do something new so that I can reboot my channel again and get things up and rolling. So here we have Castlevania Harmony of Despair, otherwise known as Dawn of Sorrow Remix, as I like to call it, because it basically has more stages that retain the Dawn of Sorrow, it has more characters that retain the Dawn of Sorrow, and Soma Cruz is in the front of the damn game. So you know what, it's basically the Dawn of Sorrow mashup pack. You got a few extra characters in there, but like, they're from the mainstream games. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let's just get into this. This game came out in 2011, and it's basically just a Castlevania mashup game with a few extra characters. You're going through stages, you get awesome... This game has awesome music, but we'll see what we're getting into. We'll see what we're getting into. This is basically just the Castlevania DS games, as a matter of fact. It basically really is. They're basically taking the DS titles and putting them on the PS3, because there's really no other ones. I mean, you could say, yeah, you got Alucard and Richter and them, but technically they're in the DS game too. So you could literally pass this game off as just the DS games put on the PS3. But anyway, our characters are Soma Cruz, Alucard, Jonathan Morris, Julius Belmont, Richter Belmont, Shanoa, Charlotte Allen, Yoko Belnades, Maria Renard, and Simon Belmont. For the sake of this Let's Play, and for the sake of this video, I'm going to be choosing one person to play through the entire Let's Play. He's someone that needs more attention, and he's someone that deserves it. And that is Julius Belmont. Julius Belmont does not have his own game yet. Everyone else has their own game, and his game revolves around completely destroying Dracula. Which, and no, don't remind me, because I'm well aware of the fact that there is a fan game out there about Umbra of Sorrow, which I really don't care about because it's a fan game. I don't care about fan fictions, I don't care about fan games. Unless it's actually made by Konami, licensed by Konami, or made by IGA and he approves of it, I really don't care about it, because it's just not, it's not true. So don't sit there and say that, oh, you know, Umbra of Sorrow is in the works. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if it's in the works. I don't care if it's a fan game. I don't care, dude. So yeah, we got Julius. Now this game has a hefty 11 chapters. I don't have the 11th chapter because that chapter doesn't have to do with Castlevania, so I just didn't buy it. But there's 10 Castlevania chapters, and each of them take up to at least 15 minutes average to beat. So we're just going to go ahead and start with the first chapter, Caught in the Cradle of Decay. Now this one is basically taking place in Dawn of Sorrow. In fact, the first 3 stages take place in Dawn of Sorrow, you're going to notice. So let's get started. But yeah, this game is pretty okay for what it is. The leveling system is weird. There isn't really a level up system as much as there is a, you know, strengthen system. And how that works is even weirder, okay? This game pretty much requires you to use your sub-weapons, because if you don't, you're not going to get any stronger. So like this whip, if I were to just sit here and just whip these zombies, I'm not going to get any stronger. This game wants you to use your sub-weapons, like the cross, and then you'll actually get stronger. Your character will progress. And I'm like, well, that's just kind of a weird way to do it. Like, don't you think you should do it by killing enemies and getting XP that way, not just doing it your sub-weapons? But it's whatever. They're trying to be unique, and I get it. But I mean, I guess I can get along with that. Now about Dawn of Sorrow, because this is what we're playing right now, and I'll talk about Julius in a minute. Dawn of Sorrow has always been like one of those games that I got into as of late. I think I got into it about 2010 when I got my DS and stuff. I was kind of confused about who Soma was and where he came in, because holy shit, 2035 and 2036, I was like, damn, that's way ahead in the future. Where does he come from? And then turns out it's like, oh, he has the power to absorb souls and control monsters. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, how'd he get this power? And they don't really explain it in depth about how he got it. But apparently, and I just, like, I'm not even kidding, like, yesterday found this out, because I never looked at it this way. Soma Cruz is the reincarnation of Dracula. So, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because, as far as I'm concerned, the last reincarnation of Dracula that we've seen was, Malice from Castlevania 64, and he was Dracula still. He wasn't any different, but Soma Cruz is the main protagonist. He is the good guy. So that's led me to assume that, you know, Soma is a second chance for Matthias. And I was like, holy shit, that is crazy considering Castlevania as a whole. Because you'd think that, you know, Matthias would just be dead and, you know, he's never coming back. But, wow, I think they were actually nice enough to give him a second chance. That's actually really cool. But I never knew that. You know what? Now that I know that, it actually makes way more sense now, considering the fact that he has those powers, and they were just kind of born with him. He just has the power to absorb souls and all that shit. And I was just like, well, that actually makes more sense now that you think about it. Yeah, you know, it actually makes a lot more sense, being that Soma is the reincarnation of Dracula, considering his powers. But, yeah, that actually really does make a lot more sense. Now, with Julius here, yeah, he's been introduced in both Araya of Sorrow and in Dawn of Sorrow, and basically what happens is that if Soma goes on the evil side and becomes Dracula, Julius promises to destroy him himself, and he does on, like, separate endings. Like, if you get the bad ending, then yeah, Julius will show up and he's gonna fight Soma as Dracula. But, we haven't had an actual game about Julius Belmont as of yet. It's talking about the Demon Castle War of 1999, which we still don't have, and I doubt Konami's ever gonna make, because it sounds like Umbra of Sorrow is in the works, and that sounds pretty promising, but again, I'm never going to accept it as legit, because it's a fan game. I don't accept that, because fan games, if you have any idea how fans work, they always tend to disregard things in terms of their own convenience. They always like to leave things out. They always like to put things in that just suits fit to them. And that's what I don't like about fans, is that they always just like to tamper with things. And I don't know what they're going to do with this game, but I'm definitely not going to accept it. I'm definitely not going to accept it, that's for sure. You know what, and it may have to come at the price of us never receiving an actual Konami licensed Julius game, but you know what? It's better than having a fan game that means nothing to me, so I'd rather just have the 1999 story covered in mystery, because you know what, that might be better. That might be better to have the story covered in mystery, just to have it be a complete and utter unknown thing about what happened to Dracula and Julius. So, oh yeah, that was Gurgoth, by the way. He showed up in Dawn of Sorrow and in Portrait of Ruin as like a side boss. But yeah, now we beat that. We got the open chest, and we get an item, and it's typically garbage stats. Okay, so oh yeah, and they use the victory theme from the end of Dracula X Chronicles, which is pretty funny. So yeah, you get your score there, and then you go on to the next chapter. But that's gonna be for another video. I'm gonna do this one video at a time. So chapter 1, and then chapter 2, and then chapter 3, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, this has been interesting. It's been good catching up. It's been good finally getting back into these Let's Plays. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.